Are you learning all about HTML as a beginner and want to know what HTML validation is, why it's crucial in web development, and how to use it in a real project? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, Martin here from MDP Web Development. Today we'll be working on a project that we'll use as a reference project throughout the Web Development for Beginners playlist. Don't forget to check out the playlist from the start to get a better understanding of HTML and our reference project. It's updated each week with new videos. Be sure to stick around to the end to see how to get the project files on Git Hub to use throughout this playlist. I'll link to important videos there also. There's a link in the description down below to the GitHub repository where all the source code is. Let's get started. HTML validation. So what is it? Well, a validator for HTML is a tool that checks the grammar is valid against a set of rules to make sure there's no errors or issues. The validator also checks HTML vocabulary to make sure there's no broken elements. And also, the validator checks HTML syntax is valid against a set of rules to make sure there's no errors or broken tags or unclosed elements. So why is it needed? Well, basically, browsers need to understand the HTML document to display it as intended. If the document contains errors, browsers will guess and try to display it or crash. They'll make a best effort as to what they think the web page should look like and try to display it, which means, of course, it might not be what we want. Validation also helps in debugging and preventing issues and errors in the HTML document, such as unclosed tags or missing attributes that won't work very good when we go to publish our website. So how is it done? There's a great consortium called the W3C W3 Consortium. They have worldwide internet standards set up, and they also have a great validator. You can see the URL here, validator.w3.org. They can validate HTML, CSS and JavaScript, but here we're validating the HTML. You can see here, you can validate by URI, or just the web address of whatever web page you want to check, and validate the code. You can paste it in, then click check. Or you can validate by file upload if you want to upload one of your files, your HTML files, directly from your desktop or server, and just click check. You can also validate by direct input, by just copying and pasting the code into the box here, you can see, and then just click check. We can see here source, outline and image options. The source just means the code that's in the window and is checked by default. The outline is a handy way of seeing all the headings we have in our document to make sure our document is okay for Google. Heading 1s, heading 2s and heading 3s. And the image report is very handy for seeing if there's any missing attributes or broken images. And you can see on the right the results of the image check and the source check on the bottom. This document passed OK. Hi, before we move on, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Thank you. So let's go ahead and validate the HTML for the reference project we've created in the other sections. We go to our desktop, I'm going to go into the reference project folder, and then we'll click on the index.html file. We can see here the reference project. Now to view the web page code on this, I'm going to right click in Windows and click View Source. And here we can see the HTML for the document. We can see the head, the body, the header, the main, and the sections we created. This is all the HTML. So let's go ahead and validate this HTML. So we're going to select all and copy. Then we're going to go to the HTML validator. So in our reference project, if you scroll down, you can see one of our handy links here. I'll just zoom in, CTRL plus. You can see one of our handy links here, W3C HTML validator. Let's just go ahead and click on that. So here we have our validator. We can see here, we can put in the URL, or we can upload a file. And today we're going to paste it in here, validate by direct input. So let's go ahead and click here and paste in the code we just copied. And we'll click check. Now we can see here, when we scroll down, the document checking is complete and no errors or warnings. So that's good. Let's just enable some options now and recheck. We want to see the outline of the document and also the image report. And now let's just click check again. Now when we scroll down, you can see the document is fine. We can see the image report. We can see here that there's textual alternatives to the alt tags. We can see them here. The text is fine. We can see where the images are located in the code, and they all look fine. And you can see here, very important, down on the bottom, we have the outline of the document. We can see the heading 1 is Web Development for Beginners Reference Project. And then we can see the document is sectioned correctly, with 3 H2s under that, one for HTML reference, one for CSS reference, and one for JavaScript reference. So this means now we can be sure that our HTML for that page is fine and shouldn't cause any issues in the future. So to get the files used in this example, the HTML reference project, just go to the GitHub link that's down in the description of this video. You can have a look at it here. So a GitHub repository is just a location on the internet hosted by a company called Git that most developers like to share or store their code in, either for their own use or to share with other developers. The repository on GitHub is just a folder used to store code or files, etc. Let's have a look at each folder. So when we're in the repository here, you can see the name of the repository there, actions along the top. You can see the main folder here, and there's a README file too. So if you want, you can just click onto the folders and see what's inside them and download the code from there. But to get all the code, you're going to go over here to the code button. We're going to click and download zip file. Once that's downloaded, go into your downloads folder. Then we need to extract it. So we're going to Windows, you're going to right click and extract all. Now let's just have a look at these files in VS Code. So we're going to go to our desktop. We're going to open up Visual Studio Code. And now we're going to open the folder that we just extracted. Open folder on the left. And we're going to go to Downloads. And here we are. And you can see here on the Explorer view on the left, there's the folder we can click to expand. And here's the reference project folder. And here's the HTML file, so we'll click on that, and there's the code. You can use this for reference or to rebuild your project if something goes wrong. Hi, I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please like, share, comment and subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos in the Web Development for Beginners playlist. See you next time.